I'll find it without your help. Not giving up, you hear me? Work my hands to bloody stumps in the place, and for what? Start with nothing, leave with less. Okay. What are you yelling at? An idiot? That's who. And I'm as much to believe for believing them. A good riddance. She never settled here in the first place. Some things we need to leave behind. Come to find out, you packed them away. But I'm not leaving until I recover what's mine. They can't deny me again, not after this. The sweet-tongued priest took my heirloom. Bury the memory of my past, they said. Now I don't even have that. What priests? The only ones here, occupied in the temple some time ago. Picked up desperate folk like vultures. This priest, Andra's dogs, said the goddess would forgive. That some things are best left forgotten. The leader, Lafta, believes... I believe your words. Another one of them, a gift bearer, took my medallion. And now they won't tell me where it is. Why won't they tell you? Big yawn, I know. Because they think they know better. That's why. Said it was the only way I'd forget. What did you want to forget about your past? That's a different life, better days, until... It's my burden to bear, not yours. I thought to cast away, but the memories I lost were the wrong one. What else did you give the priest? You understand its value, my armor. It sets finer than I've ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I traded it for the medallion. The fool that I was gave them both. If I find anything, I'll let you know. Not the kind of talk I've grown used to these past few years, I admit. The priest may pretend otherwise, but the folks here tend to look only after themselves. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it's a sacred duty to cast offerings from the goddess to some place where they are forgotten. Better to leave them and drop them, I think. Slafta's role in this. She leads the group of crows. They took over the temple as folks started to leave. Came to unburden those sought to forget their miseries. Say. About the medallion? Belonged to my sister. It was a pretty trinket to her. Me, she was the last of my family. At least that still act as my family. Don't expect luck and grace me now. Find anything. I'll be here. Leave it. Oh, what's working?
My ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit.
Awesome.
My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Pargrin dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype. Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere.
Wait.
I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since.
I'll do it.
Really? That'd be wonderful. I just have to adjust the device, you see. It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device. Thanks ever so much for this.
Go talk to her. Quexel. Okay, nothing. Okay, he doesn't want to talk. Welcome. Here to ease the pain of your past and take your burdens. You let the goddess help you in hardship, of course. I heard the worshippers of Barath visited you recently. Little happens around here that doesn't end in the mouths of villagers, but we are obliged to assist everyone, regardless of their faith. A group of women came to us. Yes, the leader wanted to know about Durgan's battery. I obliged and pointed in the direction. They left quickly as they arrived, which didn't make any less concerned about our true intentions. This place has grown dangerous already. I'll ask you about Okren's heirloom. Dwarf already asked. Gave him the counsel he needed. And naturally, do what we can for you too. Ask what you will. He wants a medallion back. Okren, how would he let the shadows of the past become a burden into others? The medallion, it weighs on Okren's mind. You're kind to help, but what he really needs is to cast away those memories. Isn't that for him to decide? He understood the solace of the goddess that can give those to it. I explained to him that many have second thoughts, but one does not withdraw something offered to a goddess. Makes sense. In times, the memories fade, and they will come to seek wisdom in the original pledge. His belongings, his past, now rest in Andra's realm. Be forgotten in the wounds that the soul may heal. This is the will of the goddess. Her will flows in tides. Maybe Okren needs the medallion to discover how to forget. You're well versed in the intricacies of our faith. No use in hiding anything for someone like you. There's no need for quarrel over the mysteries of the goddess's will. I'll tell you what you wish to know. Aaron was taken to Ixtali, the gift bearer among us, offering to Andra, and only Andra knows. You should ask him yourself, but he's on the trek through the mountains of Durgan's battery. Run into Ixtali? I don't know how to pronounce that. Tell him that these urgent duties to attend to. Okay. So, oh my god. Sounds like the priests have engaged in agitated conversation. You let us sense that they're discussing you. We're also certain that the door is too thick to eavesdrop through. Maybe other place where you get a better hope. Wooden shutters of the temple window closed tightly. Muffled set of voices coming through the building. Can't quite make sense of the murmur, but cracking the shutter open would likely help. Rusty iron that holds the window shutters closed. With care, you should be able to unfasten without notice. Unfasten? Oh! Began to lift the latch in the metal hook. Halfway there, the rusted resists with a screech. You freeze, listen to the voices in hopes the priest didn't hear. Their conversation continues uninterrupted. Pour some oil on the latch. You grab the latch and apply it just right amount of oil, nudging the metal until the rust gives way without sound. Carefully, pull the window shutters open enough just to let the voices flow through. You hear a man speaking, his tone agitated. You do that, the hope of mount will do. What if it suddenly cuts off as the man were speaking to all sides of the room? Opposed tells him what then? Recognize Lata's voice responding. Why would he? And with all those dangers near battery, our gift bearer won't delay. I expect. Man interrupts her. You always expect. But look where that's taken us. A dying village. Ogres at the walls. Ixtal's not back yet. And now, I have to do his voice drop in C's, muffling what he has to say. Do you think I wanted this? That I could know the advance? Pause ensues as tension grows until the priest cuts it in half. We can't wait for him. We must fish our last batch quickly. After that, we will decide. The man responds to the broken voice, barely audible, only distinguish the last words. In the russet wood pond, I'll go. Their exchange seems to end. Cautiously, you step away from the window. Oh. Okay, so we've been there. Let's try to go to this person's house before we do Durgan's battery.
Sorry. Didn't hear you come in. My ears aren't what they used to be.
Who are you?
I'm Thiersch. I've lived here long enough that Kith have started calling me the Old Hunter. And that's about all I can say for myself.
Are you hurt?
Wasn't the ogres, I can tell you that. Put a few arrows in one of those and they generally have the good sense to back off. But
I do like the voice acting.
I've been hunting this wolf for near a year now. A man-eater. Cunning, nasty thing. Every time I get close, it just slips away. The beast has already claimed many lives. The first victim was my son, Saldrin. Got the better of me this last time. Distracted me long enough for one of its kin to turn up. Nearly bit me clean in half. I'm a few weeks out from trying again.
Said it's a wolf?
No ordinary wolf. A monster. This creature is big. And I see the signs it leaves behind. The mess it made to the last couple of hunters, and the elk doesn't always finish its meals. Damn thing might be sick. Might have a bullet in its jaw. Something. In any case, it needs to be put down.
Where is it?
It roams the russet wood out to the west. Seems to have decided the lake is a good place to find prey.
There's two places in Russet Wood.
Yeah. It's picked off some scattered ogres from time to time.
Damn.
But mostly it's been going after hunters, travelers.
I'll keep an eye out.
It needs doing. But I warn you, this beast is not to be trifled with. It must make its lair somewhere to the west. If you mean to go there, keep your wits about you. Watch yourself on the mountain. In these lean times, everything looks like prey to something.
Alright. Alright, so we got, what, the main guy in town, the head guy, I'm assuming? And then this person's house. Well, I guess we haven't gotten to the fishery either. Let's do the fishery. Figure we'll get all these. We might be able to pick up a whole bunch of quests.
Fresh fish! Freshly caught!
Let's have some skewers while we're here.
Oh, nothing in here. I can thieve stuff, but I'm not going to.
Fresh fish! Freshly caught! Effigy's eyes! It looked at me!
The fish?
Ah!
Dozen pair of globular eyes stare piteously up from the discarded heads. The day's catch, awash with pungent sea, fins and innards. Sift. Your hands runs up against something round and fleshy, the size of a melon. It's smooth and scaled. Or scaleless. The parts seem to be covered in hair, a discarded head, or perhaps that out of a fish. Uh-oh. Pull out the head. With one hand on the other side of the head, you begin to lift out of the barrel. The only thing you have is leaping out of your grasp. As the head's owner springs out of the lip of the barrel, an eruption of fish chunks spring down. Oh. The man leapt out of the barrel, standing facing you. Nearly naked slave wore a loincloth and a grizzled fish viscera. He is covered head to toe in scars. Tears and punctures of thorny imprints and lashings, most all faded like wounds. Despite that, the condition of the man's body is remarkable. The drooping skin at his flanks and elbows is the only evidence of advanced age. His face is placid, and the rest of him appears prepared for anything.
You must forgive Zawa. I was not expecting you.
What are you doing in the barrel?
Resting my eyes, I thought. Waiting for the Mykillangelo to bring me insight.
Mykillangelo?
It would seem I dozed. A good thing my master was not alive to see it. Are you real?
I could tell him... What, lie? Yes? Now that you're asking, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Of course. I meant no offense. But I find it is best to ask when Mykillangelo is involved.
Yeah, Mykillangelo?
A small white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap in these lands. It can reveal the true nature of many things.
You have a master?
A teacher, not an owner. Zawa is a free man. Well, as free as any of us.
Still don't understand why you were in the barrel.
I was freeing myself from vanity.
Is it sanity or vanity?
Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish?
Hard to argue with that.
I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far. Yes, quite pleased.
The scars from battle?
From battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies. These were struck against fear. These against pleasure. These against hatred. Those down there against greed and doubt. And these were for vanity.
Made those scars?
I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable.
And you've achieved this?
I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone.
Those wounds must have caused you to suffer greatly.
Of course, I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements.
Oh, but yeah, Salty, after this game, since you asked about when it's going to take, hopefully it don't take me the rest of the month. But once I'm done with this, I think I will be playing Still Wakes the Deep. It's going to be free on Game Pass. Well, not free, I'm paying for Game Pass, but it's going to be on Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. So I think I'll be playing that, and it's like a story-driven horror game. So you get to watch me be scared.
Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us. Their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel.
It's called Still Wakes the Deep. It's kind of a story horror game that's on an oil rig. You don't seem like you're from around here.
I was visiting a monastery not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left. He carried a call for aid. Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zawa is no longer young, but in combat he is still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go.
Thor hired me as well.
I would not say I am hired. I seek no
October?
wage, and I promise no result.
I don't know. I don't know when all these games are coming out. I do want to try to do some horror games, but oh man, there's so many games coming out. So the end of August, I believe, Star Wars Outlaws comes out. I'm tempted to play that. Space Marines comes out at the beginning of September. Tempting to try that. Stalker 2 comes out, I think, towards the beginning of September. Middle of September is God of War Ragnarok. And then this fall, I'm not sure the dates, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Avowed, possibly the Indiana Jones game, Tainted Grail, maybe. They mentioned this year. I don't know if it's going to be or not. I don't know if there's any others, but there's just so many of them. But I do want to try to do some horror games. I do want to. Oh yeah, we'll be doing God of War.
I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from
Definitely
walking
doing
it.
God of War.
And this fortress, this Durgan's battery, its people are gone. Zawa would know why.
If you seek the White Forge as well, I could use help with the experienced warrior.
If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together
What, I get
in
another
this moment
companion?
because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zawa to argue? I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so.
What are you? He's a monk. Alright. I was not expecting to pull a guy's head outside of a fish barrel. Pull a guy out.
Me and Sledge are thinking about heading down, joining a caravan over to Dawning.
Dawning? What for? You like your ogres bigger?
We'd have work at least, and I'm damn sick of fish.
Who's talking? Here. See what's in here. Check the other guy's house, and then we'll go into battery. Fat mode. All feedy stuff.
They gone? Have those nasty brutes finally left?
I heard the ogres outside tearing down the walls, murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad.
But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer. A real spitfire, she told me. Bet you'd whip those layabouts at the mine into shape.
I have to ask you something.
Did you say something, dear?
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff. But I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance. Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much afore they finish the job. Got to speak up?
Alright, that was pointless. So I'm going to try for next stream, for tomorrow's stream, see if I can do another little adjustment. See if that makes any difference on... Otherwise I don't know what to do. With YouTube. I might try to go back to OBS. We'll have to try that. Just to see. They destroyed the stockade, Mother. It's...
Enough. They're gone. The deliverer of Cadnua. Thank you for making the journey. Abidan knows it's a long one. Well, I'm sure
days
you
travel.
wagered on a more civilized welcome.
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe
Still, we're much obliged for your capable intervention.
there's a job need doing. What I'm here for.
Then far be it from me to waste your time with idle chatter.
Sometimes part of me is thinking of just doing YouTube or Twitch only, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to do both so people can go on either one if they prefer. And I had everything running fine, and then everything went downhill. So I'm not... I don't know.
Stalwart isn't much more than a grease stain on a map. What roads we've got in the White March are basically tracks in the snow. And for every trader or adventurer
I
that
do have a
comes
stronger on
through,
YouTube.
3 of our own leave for good. But it weren't always so. There was a time when kings and queens sent their firstborn to these mountains, when the White March was the envy of empires.
I'll have to check OBS See if there's anything I can do on there. Maybe I can get that to work better. What does it have to do with me?
The Pargrin dwarves transformed the White March once. We could bring some of that greatness back to Stalwart. But we need the White Forge.
I know of it.
Then you'll know that no one's felt as much as a summery breeze from the White Forge for over 200 years. I'm hoping you can do something about that.
How so?
We've been trying to breach Durgan's battery for over a year now. Problem is, the other expeditions can't so much as dent the front door.
Not sure what that was. What's the interest in the White Forge?
We're an old mining town. Or we were until the Adirans pulled out and left us with a half-dug mine shaft and something resembling an inn. Since then, it's been a steady decline. You've seen the roads. Isn't much we can produce that the Valians can't ship cheaper. But the White Forge... well, if we could fire it up again and start producing Durgan steel, or something close to it, wouldn't matter if we're in the White March or the Living Lands, business would come.
And that's why you need my help?
That's the long and short of it. We're laborers and fisherfolk, not adventurers. But Durgan steel could put Stalwart on the map again, open up the mines, bring in new business. We just need the White Forge.
Why is Durgan steel so special?
Because you can shave stone with it, cleave cast iron in two, and the stuff's as rare as it is remarkable.
I had a suit of armor made out of that. Bet people get tired of trying to stab you after a while and just give up.
If we could make something even half as good, we'd have a market at our doorstep and work enough for all of Stalwart.
How's no one gotten to Durgan's battery yet?
Where should I start? Ogres, blizzards, or sheer damned inaccessibility? It ain't for lack of trying, I'll tell you that much. Got untold riches in Durgan steel lying just inside, and never mind the White Forge itself. The Adirans who first settled Stalwart tried to crack it. So did the Valians, and every other cocky adventurer with more metal than sense.
YouTube's acting even worse right now.
But the place has a funny way of sealing itself up. Front door stays shut, the tower entrances are clogged with rubble, and it's been impossible to blast a way in.
What happened, Durgan battery?
It don't bear dwelling on. There's too many superstitions about that place as it is.
Killed each other off, or so the old books say.
Plenty of tales to go around, but none of them open the battery. And the last thing people need is another reason to fear the place.
Kids do enjoy their ghost stories. Though the Glenfaddens takes theirs very seriously.
Whatever it was, the other Pargrin dwarven settlements in the White March, Bone Picker, the Hawk, and the rest, emptied out not long after, moved to gentler, greener lands.
Had the right idea, if you ask me.
I don't see why you need the White Forge to make good steel.
Finally, someone talking sense.
Durgan steel wasn't just good. It was some of the best. We need the best if we're going to keep Stalwart alive. No one alive today has seen the White Forge, but the old stories tell that it was powerful, glowed white hot, and gave off a steady, even heat, unlike any other furnace.
All right.
Let better-schooled folk puzzle over how the thing was built. I just want to see it put to use.
Tell me about the Pargrin dwarves.
Pargrin's a word in their language. Means traveler. They've been wanderers for generations, but I couldn't tell you much
I haven't
more.
updated Nightbot either. All right.
The battery's up the mountain to the north. A good hike away.
Near Galvino's place, huh?
So it is. Though I was going to suggest dealing with that ogre camp before anything.
Galvino.
Mestre Galvino, as the old crosspatch prefers it, lives by himself and keeps the wilder and beasts at bay through sheer foulness of his temper.
She means to say he's a skilled smith and animancer, who's lived in the shadow of Durgan's battery for over a decade.
And by animancy flimsy standards, it makes him an expert, does it?
And he butters his bread on both sides and fits his left shoe before his right. But that's neither here nor there.
He seemed flustered all of a sudden. Did he do something?
Me and the rest of the town. He knows better than to linger at our gates.
What happened?
Old lunatic finally went too far. And we sent word to the Valiant Academies. I don't like speaking on it, but if you want to get his guff, just remind him that we gave him the boot.
Okay.
Ain't nobody here fond of the man, but he's a clever hand and a quick study. It's a fool who thinks he stayed so close to the battery without figuring something about it.
You said as much to the last party, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since. Maybe they didn't run afoul of Baragon's ogres after all. Just watch your step. Galvino's place is a ways east of the battery, and folk who pass it bring unsettling tales.
In the ogre camp?
Belongs to Flames That Whisper, Matron Baragon's clan. Hunters tell me they've been active of late.
Hunting elk and otherwise minding their own damn business.
Minding their own business. Never mind the latest expedition's disappearance, or the broken stockade.
I'm saying we shouldn't agitate him further.
What does the matron have to do with anything?
The brawl outside was just the latest patch of trouble. The ogre clans are getting bolder, and we'll all sleep easier knowing they aren't circling our walls. Also, Baragons like to have whatever the last expedition found. Rumor has it they disappeared near her turf.
Killing a matron will only make our problems worse. The way to approach Baragon is with your hands held high.
If anyone could parley with an ogre, I suppose it'd be you. But they aren't known for their patience with prattle.
Got it.
Good. Before you leave town, stop by the Grave's Rest. Most visitors to Stalwart spend some time there, so Hafric and his patrons may be able to give you the lay of the land.
I'll be, but I'm parched all of a sudden. Okay. So back to the inn. Let's take a look at our quest, too.